The Ace Man's keeping busy. Why don't you join us for a live podcast in Irvine at the Irvine Improv on July 10th. And then 4 shows in Covina, California at the Laugh Factory Covina on July 11th and July 12th. Tickets for these and more shows are available at adamcarolla.com. From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, Greg Fitzsimmons. Plus social media creators Chris Collins and Celina Myers. And the news with me, Mike Dawson. And now, remembering the dog days of summer as a kid whose parents were too cheap to get him a dog. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the show to get on your mandate. You get it on. Fitz Dog in studio. He's got live dates. He's got a stand-up special. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's got this podcast. Where should we go? Should we just go to gregfitzsimmons.com for all the live dates and where to find the very funny stand-up special?
Yeah, we got Batavia, Illinois coming up, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, Pottstown, PA, La Jolla, all coming up.
All right, so go to gregfitzsimmons.com. Find out where this very funny, seasoned, professional,
well-seasoned
stand-up is going to appear. All right, I am going to be on stage tonight at the Irvine Improv with Jay Moore as well, doing a live pod there, and then off to let's see, Covina, the Laugh Factory, 2 shows Friday and 2 shows Saturday night. Yeah, man, working dogs. I thought you used to take the summer off.
Well, I'm not working any of the bigger rooms this summer. I'm at Point Pleasant, New Jersey, is a place called Uncle Vinny's. Mm-hmm. And in Pottstown, PA, I'll be at Soul Joel's. So
I've done Soul Joel's.
You have?
Yes.
It's fucking great. It's so much fun. But these are not major cities we're talking about.
No, these are not. And Soul Joel's is, I think it proves you can do stand-up anywhere.
I feel like that is the most rewarding shows is when you go and these are regular people. They're not hipsters. They're not looking for anybody famous. They just want to laugh.
No.
They get real
stage
jobs.
is squeaky because they roll it in and then they roll it out.
Right.
By the way, you don't want to be performing anywhere that when you're done, somebody does that thing where they push on the foot and the thing lifts up and it locks and now you're on casters and they just push your stage out into and then they fold it and put it in a closet. But that's what you do at Soul Joel's.
And the spotlight is like a couple of clipped desk lamps they got at Staples.
And when I was playing there, there's a banquet room next to it,
right.
And they had a Journey cover band.
Nice.
And they were playing the entire night. And I can't figure out if cover bands are just sort of Americana at our best or sort of sad tableaus of a fading, aging rocker. You know, like there's parts of cover bands and tribute bands that are invigorating and then others that feel very sad.
Yeah. I think as long as the ticket price is way less than what you would pay. Sometimes you go to see like Dred Zeppelin, you know, which was, do you remember Dred Zeppelin?
Sure.
And the ticket price is, $65. You go, no. Dra, not la.
Not la.
Yeah.
Not la. Yes. Yeah, I agree. But I do feel like, in the annals of a fat chick giving a better blowjob than a model.
Yeah.
I feel that way with cover bands sometimes. I feel like if you go see the Police, they're so bored playing Roxanne that they do a reggae everything. They do a reggae version of all their songs because Sting's like, I'm so fucking tired of this song.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a different version of it for me. But the cover band does the album version of everything.
When they say "Don't Stop Believing," they haven't stopped believing.
They have not.
No.
So they were all in one hall, and then I was in the hall next to it with the rolling
Yeah, and then
stage.
the green room is about 1.5 miles away from the showroom. And then I went with my friend Dan Brickner.
Well, you need a Sherpa to get you there because you'll turn down a hall and it'll end up like The Shining. You'll be in the kitchen of The Shining.
Yeah.
You'll literally go down an endless hall and end up seeing Scatman Crothers in an office. That happened to me. Hand of God.
Yeah, and then you get... you turn it into the Shriners Convention or a Tupperware thing in Salon B.
Yeah.
No, but it's my friend Dan Brickner and his wife Caroline came out to see me there because they live in Philly, so they drove me out. And it's one of those things where you go like, all right, this isn't going to be glamorous.
Right.
And so I go on, and I'm not blowing my own horn, but I got a standing ovation.
Nice.
Except as I'm walking out, Dan and Caroline are sitting down. I go, if anybody would give me a fucking stand, how about you guys lead the standing up?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Only one sitting.
I don't like my friends coming to my shows.
Nothing. No upside.
There's no upside. There's always a text message 9 minutes before you're going on. Hey, the tickets aren't on the guest list. Or you hear them talking to the waitress louder than anybody else in the crowd.
I invited a friend. I did a show. Oh, God, this was heartbreaking. Well, okay, so I'm with you. I'm with you that I have a very strong sort of no upside policy versus potential lots of downside, and thus don't even do it.
Right.
And I'll do it like informationally. Like if I'm on the phone with somebody, I'll go, yeah, well, I'm running late. I can't make it, or I'll do it tomorrow. But I don't go, I'm doing this, because that opens a door to, why didn't you call me? I could have done, I know a guy. Just less information, always better. I feel the same way. I think it's my horrible family, but no real upside to inviting the friends and the family show with potential downside. The extreme is your buddy from high school gets shit-faced and gets into it with a waiter. That's the extreme. But the other is just like the unimpressed conversation you guys have after the show where they go, you're talking and you go, the opener was funny. And then they don't say anything else. And you're like, what the fuck what is that?
The one time it was good was when I first started doing stand-up. I'd been doing it for like 2 years, and I was in college still. And so a bunch of my buddies came out, and I was at Stitch's Comedy Club in Kenmore Square in Boston. And there was a Jewish singles night going on. And so the place was filled with like rich girls that wanted to date Harvard medical students, basically, all Jewish kids. And then this guy shows up, and he was a cab driver from Israel. And so he heard about a Jewish singles night, and he's like, this is where I will meet the world. They will all love me because I am real Jew.
Zohan showed up.
And he sat in the front row, and I guess he tried to talk to people, and nobody wanted anything to do with him. So he starts heckling me to try to make a name for himself. And I'd only been doing it a couple of years, but one thing I had out of the gate was I knew how to humiliate people from the stage.
Yeah.
So I shit on him, and then he looks at me and he goes, nothing more.
Oh, I like that.
And his name was Simca. I remember that because it was the name of the village idiot in the Woody Allen's movie Love and Death.
Welcome, idiots.
And I say, that's right.
Who else goes that deep on Love and Death, Fitz? Oh, come on now.
Best Woody Allen movie.
Best joke for joke.
And I go, okay, tell me when your friends get here. And he comes up on stage, fists clenched, and comes right at me. And I had a microphone.
Hold on. Does he have old Nahamka and young Nahamka with him?
The weird thing is, old Nahamka was younger than young Nahamka.
You guys got to watch that movie.
And so he comes at me, and I got one of these microphones from the 80s. It's like a big mesh, like metal. It's like a Game of Thrones weapon. Yeah. And I crack him in the forehead with it.
Wow.
And he's bleeding.
Wow.
And then he comes at me with some Krav Maga shit, and he gets me into a headlock.
Whoa.
And he's fucking spinning me. My legs are flailing. We're knocking over tables. People are on their feet. They're cheering.
Awesome.
And then the bouncers, of course, are out back smoking a joint. They're supposed to be in the room.
Yeah.
And so luckily my buddies, actually Dan Brickner, the guy from Philly I was just talking about, him and George Close and Billy Clark were at the bar, and they ran to the stage and they helped pull this fucking lunatic off of me.
Wow.
And they dragged him out, and this was like, 10 minutes into my set. I think I was doing 15. And I get off, and the club owner Harry Conforti looks at me. The show stopped. They're putting the
Right.
tables back together. They're getting people drinks. And Harry goes, all right, Fitzsimmons, you got 5 minutes left. Sends me back out.
Wow.
And so I look out at the crowd and I go, I just got my ass kicked. I go, all right, who's next? And I got a standing ovation.
I was doing, in the annals of not inviting your friends or family, for me, I was doing a show Off the Hook in Naples, Florida.
Sure.
I had a friend who was a good friend and always kept in touch with him, who was class clown of North Hollywood High when I was a junior. And then I became a senior and became class clown. So he was like my
handed over
class
the torch.
clown older brother,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he was always real funny. And even though he went into a different profession and I went into comedy, I still always had that, I want the tip of the cap from that guy because he was always my older brother class clown.
Right.
And I was playing Naples, and he was out there for the summer, what have you. And I invited him to a show. And the show was sold out. It was a rock and roll audience, and it was fun and great crowd. I gave him his sort of own table and his own space over there.
Nice.
And I just stood on stage and watched him text for 67 minutes, and I couldn't stop. It was like you have a loose tooth and it hurts every time, but you just keep flicking it with your tongue. You just keep flicking. Like I'd have to turn and look back. He'd be texting, and I'd turn back and get back into the stuff, and I'd have to look over it and and I just like the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just thought, this is on me. My fault for inviting people.
My podcast, Sunday Papers, we had this fan, and we get a lot of audience stuff. Like we've been doing the show for 5 years, and every single week we have a different banner ad, different artwork that a listener sends in. And every week we have a song, original song by a listener. Every week, different one. So this woman had sent in a bunch of them. She fucking busted her ass. She did really good work. She used to write in, and then she started coming to my shows, and it was like, San Francisco, and then Sacramento, and then like Portland, and
right.
So you start to worry, is this like, they call these women chuckle fuckers?
Oh, really?
And you're like, is this a chuckle fucker? And which is not my thing, because I'm married.
Right.
But I don't know if she was, but she was kind of obsessed. Anyway, she comes to a show, and I put her on the guest list, and she's sitting up front with two friends, and she proceeds to talk to me throughout the show with her friends drunk, to the point where I had to keep telling them, please be quiet, to where it gets serious, where you're not like going, hey, you're like, hey, seriously, you got to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And they took that as encouragement to go. And then I asked the bouncers to throw them out. And they came and stayed in a hotel to come to my show. 10 minutes in, I had them fucking thrown out of the show. And she never talked to us again.
I've had situations recently with women as well, and I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what I think. I got a thought. This reminded me, but I'll tell Andrew. I think I liked, at least somebody tweeted me yesterday, that Martha Stewart clip where she was cheating on her husband and was giving a lecture about women who got cheated on. It's the greatest clip ever. But I think I tweeted a joke about it. You can find that. Get it ready. It popped in my head. I want to revisit it with Fitzog. Okay. Here's a theory. You ready? Guys, I'm putting a theory together that women are off the fucking chain. They're off the leash. They're fighting in every airport. They're fucking knocking stuff over. Like they've become weaponized, and they're gone insane, and they're throwing down. And I'm loosely basing it on me being age 0 to 46 and never really seeing women physically fight.
Right.
And in the last 26 months, they just seem to be throwing down at every Applebee's.
On the internet, or you're seeing them?
Well, no, I've experienced a little bit in person, but yes, it's internet, and one could blame the internet. I still don't think there are this many women fighing at that many airports.
It's a phenomenon.
It's a phenomenon. Yeah. And what I'm realizing, and my theory is this. Women are much more physical than men. They just men learn to regulate. You wrestle, you wrestle, you wrestle. It's like all my friends did was go right up to the edge and then sort of back off and up to the edge and back off. There was a headlock where you could breathe, but not really. But that's where he stopped. We didn't do the next quarter inch where it completely cut off the circulation,
like Simca did to me,
like Simca did to you, right? So we knew how to do it. Women didn't grow up with that kind of regulation. I've said it many times. The experiment, but don't believe me, about women versus men is cook in the kitchen with your wife, your woman, your girl, not be looking, turn and step on her foot. Her hand will go flying out, flying out.
Yeah.
Step on a guy's foot, he goes, oh.
Yeah.
But his hand doesn't go flying out, right? Women's hands fly.
So
okay, it's wired. It's hardwired. Now, instead of getting their foot stepped on, they're just being told they missed their flight on Spirit Airline, and they're picking up the computer, throwing it at the person because they don't grow up regulating.
Right.
Dudes grow up on a steady diet of dude, maintain. Dude, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, maintain. I'm telling you right now, maintain. That's all we, and that when we heard the words dude, maintain, it meant, all right, we're fucked up. We thought it'd be a good idea to punch that cop's horse. It wasn't a good idea. Like, whatever, dude, maintain. I realized women don't have the dude, maintain gene because they never really, it was never deployed.
Right.
And so, like, I've been in comedy clubs always with women where I just went, look, stop. If you stop talking, you can stay in this club and enjoy the rest of the show. But if you keep talking, we're going to throw you out of the show. And they're like, I don't feel like, and it's all right, bitch, you're out. You're out.
Yeah.
Dudes, that's the dude maintain moment that sobers guys up and their buddies like give them the dude maintain.
Yeah.
Women don't have the dude maintain. They don't grow up with the dude maintain gene.
Yeah.
And they can't fuck. And I've had it happen multiple times, only with women where I go, we're at the Mason-Dixon line. If you cross over, you see it on vids. You see where like the cop's like standing outside of the black chick's window or SUV and goes, I'm going to ask you one more time to roll your window down and give me your ID or I'm going to break the glass and I'm going to arrest you. And they go, I don't feel like, and the guy goes, okay.
Yeah.
And then they break the glass. Like, that's the dude maintain moment that chicks don't have beaten into them at a young age.
Guys are told to maintain, and women are told you've been oppressed and it's time to speak out.
Don't listen to anybody. No one's the boss of you.
Yeah.
That guy up there, he's part of the heteronormative orthodoxy that's been holding you down.
Yeah.
So fuck that white heterosexual guy.
No, the worst thing in a comedy club is a bachelorette party because they come in and they've been drinking and they absolutely, the sash, the tiara, they got little straws with dicks on the tips, and it is going to be about them.
Yes.
And it is. And,
it is.
And I say to the club, if you get a group of women that's bigger than 4 people, I want them as close to the exit as possible. So the extrication is like a SWAT team. I want you to fucking cut
like
them
ice
off
swooping
like
into Van Nuys Home Depot.
That's right. Get them out of here, and they'll fight. The shoes will come off. That's the first move. The shoes come off.
I was watching Martha Stewart, like I said, do that bit where she's getting sanctimonious about husbands cheating, and I think it's worth watching. And the reason I think it's worth watching, now I made a tweet, which is a little bit of a deep cut joke. Because in the thing, you hear the voice off camera saying, hey, didn't you cheat on your first husband? Which is what David Beckham was doing to Posh or whatever when she was explaining they were middle class. And he's like, tell him what kind of car your dad had when you were a kid.
Drove you to school.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
But I realized, I was watching, and everyone thinks it's Martha Stewart, but I realized this is a global phenomenon that we've entered in, which is, There used to not be such a great chasm between where you fit in the world and the world as you saw it and your behavior in the world and actually how the world saw you. Now there's a big chasm where people think they're doing good, or they think they're righteous, or they think they're a good person. They're just cheating welfare, or like whatever that, or they're on their 55th frivolous lawsuit, or whatever that thing is, you know?
Yeah.
And I really realized this is what's going on inside the heads of most women and quite a few guys. When she gives the sanctimonious speech about cheating, just listen to how this unfolds for her.
I don't know how many different girlfriends he had during this time, but I think there were quite a few. Young women, listen to my advice. If you're married and you think you're happily married and your husband starts to cheat on you, he's a piece of shit. And look at him as a piece of shit and get out of it. Get out of that marriage. But I couldn't do that. Couldn't walk away.
All right, pause it there for a second. All right, so this is how almost every woman I know looks at her life this way, like, hey, all I did was give and give and give. I did everything.
Yeah.
And I got treated like this.
Yeah.
That's what lives in the head of almost every woman I know.
You're talking to a gentleman who was a writer on the Ellen DeGeneres show for 2 seasons. So,
right.
Yeah.
All she did was
be kind. That was
be
the slogan.
kind. That's all she did was give
Yeah.
to you guys.
Right.
But yet, this is how she was treated.
Right.
That's almost every woman I've ever met. But the reality doesn't comport with what's in your head, Ellen. So we'll go on. And this is where David Beckham.
Didn't you have an affair early on in the relationship, or when you were a stockbroker?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
He did say he knew about it.
He did?
Yes, you would confess to him.
Oh.
He says he didn't stray from the marriage until you told him you had already strayed.
Oh, that's not true. I don't think.
But what happened? You had an affair?
I had a very brief affair
Very brave.
with a very
All
attractive...
right, pause it there. So 18 seconds ago, she was explaining that any woman who stayed with a guy, that guy was a piece of shit because he strayed. And then someone said, didn't you stray? And then she's like, well, yeah, but my husband never knew.
Yeah.
Which is like saying, yeah, I ripped some shit off from the store, but the owner never found out. Like,
Right.
all right, you're still a thief, though, are you? Are you not? Number one. And then she keeps trying to soften the landing. She's like, well, he never knew. And then she's like, well, he did know. Oh, well, you know, he cheated first. No, he said that's the reason he cheated is you're cheating.
Yeah.
Then it goes to, it was a brief affair. Like, it really wasn't a thing. I was just fucking some Irish guy who's good looking.
Hey now.
Hey now. Roll it back just a little before that guy comes in, which is great. And I'll let you hear the whole thing.
Didn't you have an affair early on in the relationship, or when you were a stockbroker?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
He did say he knew about it.
He did?
Yes, you would confess to him.
Oh.
He says he didn't stray from the marriage until you told him you had already strayed.
Oh, that's not true. I don't think.
I don't think.
I
But
don't
what happened?
think.
You had an affair.
I had a very brief affair with a very attractive Irish man. And
Good for you.
Like,
it was
that's a
just
qualifier.
nothing.
Yeah.
There's
Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing there.
In terms of, it would never have broken up. I would never have broken up a marriage for it. There's nothing. There's nothing.
There's nothing.
This interview, by
This
the way,
is
let
what-
her hang. I like all the
I like
silence
it.
he gave her.
I realize that this resides in, this is every woman I've ever spoken to, is how they think.
Yeah.
First off, I was victimized. No, you weren't. You victimized. And then some sort of weird gradual qualification where they like it was nothing. It was nothing. It was like it was you a stranger's cock in your pussy, nothing,
Yeah.
but it was nothing.
I mean, he was Irish, but still,
He's
it was
Irish.
in there.
It's good look. Like I was with a black guy.
No,
he was an
it's-
Irish guy.
He didn't stretch anything out.
Yeah, and it was brief, and he was good looking. So what was I supposed to do? You know.
The husband's like, why is there orange pubic hair on your 10,000 thread sheets?
Yeah, it looks like somebody hit you with a shillelagh. Is that Irish?
Yeah.
Okay, I get the Scottish and the Irish mixed up every once in a while.
Yeah.
All right, I just thought to myself, she is basically what we're dealing with in the mind of America today. That's what we're dealing with.
I had a quick thought.
Yeah, quick thought.
All right, I drove here. I was running a little late, and so I started driving a little bit fast. And then I've always wondered about this. Sometimes when you're on the highway, you'll see like a Maserati fly by, and then you'll see a Porsche like they're zigzagging. Then you'll see like an Alfa Romeo, and they're all zigzagging through traffic. And you think, do they know each other, or was this a spontaneous, he's doing it, now I'll do it? And I realized today that's what it is, because I got a Mustang now, as you know.
Oh, yeah. You've entered the Legion of Muscle.
I feel it.
Yeah, you are.
And it rumbles on my balls. And anyway, so I was running late, and this guy came by in a Corvette, and he was weaving. I started weaving right behind him.
It's kind of a move like sneaking into a concert.
Right.
Like one guy, you see the guy going in through the exit door or something, and you just go, fuck it, you know, and you just bump draft him through that thing.
Right.
There's some of that. There's also, now here's how you know the guys know each other. Sometimes you'll see a car that's very specific, and you go, I've not seen too many of those on the road. And then you see the same model behind him, and then a third. Those are guys going on a run. Also, if they're Armenian. If they're Armenian, it means they're going on a run. If the lead guy's Armenian and the fourth guy's Armenian, they had a conversation the night before.
Yeah, and
this isn't spontaneous.
If it's a Honda Civic with 18-inch wheels
and slammed to the ground,
then that's the Mexican guy.
That's the Mexican guy. BMW is the Armos.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I've realized this. Coming out of Malibu now, PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, is 25 miles top speed all the way down because of the construction, the fires, the lane closed.
Is it just one lane?
No, it's two that goes into one and then back into two, and it's kind of a catch-can thing. But it is literally 25 miles an hour. And PCH is normally like 45, and people drive it at 60. But it's 25. I don't know if I've ever driven a car at 25 miles an hour in my life. I've passed 25 on my way to 80 and then back again to 0, but I've never lived in 25. But the cops are out in full effect, and they're pulling everybody. Everyone, my friend's assistant was coming over. She got pulled over. Everyone's getting pulled over. I see them getting pulled over every 20 feet. And so the message is spread. By the way, you don't think the populace can be controlled? Spread the message. The fuzz is out, and they're fucking writing tickets. Nobody's gone rogue. Driving an all-electric modern Audi at 25 miles an hour is almost impossible. Like, I'll feel like I'm coasting at 27 miles an hour. Like, it is difficult. You have no idea how slow you feel. Like my mom's old VW Squareback with vapor lock and fumes pouring in. And, my mom would buy retread tires because new tires are too expensive for the Corollas and shit. It starts shimming at 40, like you knew you were going 25. All electric Audi doesn't make a sound. I'm literally trying not to touch the gas pedal to go 20. And I realized today, it's the equivalent, because I know how to ride a unicycle. It's like trying to ride a unicycle at 2 miles an hour. It's almost impossible. It's like you feel like you're going to fall over.
Right.
It's maintaining 25 miles an hour. And every 200 feet's one of those signs that says speeding, your speed, speed, slow down. There's cops parked everywhere. I'm passing people getting pulled over. It's like, I'm going 25 miles an hour. But the traffic is weird. It's a whole group. It is a queue of like 40 cars going 25 miles an hour, and people just sort of looking at each other. It's
like the yellow flag lap in a car race.
It is exactly green flag. But it's like, no, it's like you've got a full course caution. But no, it is exactly like the start of a rolling start, which I've done many times, which is everybody queues up and you just go real slow and everyone's looking for the green flag, but it never drops.
Right.
You just end up in Santa Monica. And it is weird driving a modern electric car that slow for that long a period of time. But everyone got the message with the cops. Brunt workwear. I'm holding my Brunt boot right now. Sharp, man. I love the Brunt stuff. Seen the ads all over the place. Not only are these boots incredibly comfortable, but they deliver the protection and durability you need on the job site. Yeah, I like my Brunt boots. I wear them. I'm not swinging a hammer as much as I used to, but hell, these things look good as well. Lightweight, water resistant, slip and oil resistant, heat resistant, electrical hazard rated. That's right. People get shocked. They're shocked to hear about it. These Brunt boots were comfortable right out of the box. You don't have to break them in like the old Sears boots I used to wear. Most other boots, they require significant break-in time because the leather's tough. Brunt isn't just about work boots. They offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. It's really nice stuff. It's Brunt. Check it out. Right, Dawson?
Brunt didn't just make a durable work boot. They reinvented comfort for the hardest workers out there. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt by using code ADAM at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com and use code ADAM and you're all set.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Is your car as fast as a muscle car?
It's faster in that its electric cars are all torque from zero from Jump Street. So that's why everyone falls off the back of golf carts.
Yeah.
Because golf carts are electric and somebody jumps in, probably had a couple of beers, and they just jump in and everyone goes, everyone in? I go, yeah. And the guy hits it and everyone just goes flying off the back because it's instant torque. So like a Tesla is going to beat a Dodge Hemi 0 to 60. It's not going to necessarily beat the Corvette top speed, but from standing start to 60, it's going to beat a Corvette.
That's amazing. That's so amazing because you look at the work that goes into a muscle car, you know, all the extra stuff they're putting in. And, you know, I can't list it the way you could, but like, you know, all of a sudden, like a Toyota Prius is even pretty fast off the line.
I would say, you know, you get into like a Tesla Plaid, which is really fast. And I think the Cybertruck's pretty fast. But, Andrew, if you looked up just kind of the bone, you know, the low model Tesla, I don't know, they make a sort of SUV sedans, like, you know, 38K sort of base model. They might have a different version of the base model, like one might be a 4 motor and a 2 motor or whatever. But if you look up the 0 to 60 on like a on like the peppy base model.
Is it the S?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the S. But the 0 to 60 on that is going to be faster than your Mustang. And it'll be faster than like a Dodge Charger and maybe some Corvette, but it's not going to be faster than like the Super. But I mean, it's crazy that every fucking mom at the Trader Joe's in Santa Monica could beat you to the next light if she didn't have 3 kids in the car and didn't care.
It's so fucking dangerous, too, because they're quiet and they accelerate so fast that you don't see them. You go to change lanes and they come flying past you.
I know. People drive like go-karts. 0 to 60 in 3.1? That's the base model Tesla? Jesus.
Damn.
You can look up, I will blow your mind, Tom Selleck's Ferrari, Tom Selleck's Magnum PI Ferrari. That is more than double 0 to 60 faster than Tom Selleck's Ferrari. Think about me telling you me telling the 19-year-old Fitz dog that story. Mom, every fucking soccer mom could blow that thing away.
That was trying to grow that mustache, just trying to thick it out a little bit, trying to make friends with a black guy with a helicopter. It was my whole life.
Black guy with a helicopter. DC. This is 0 to 60, Magnum PI, approximately 6.7 seconds, more than twice.
What is that, a 79?
Yeah, it's in there, 308 or 328. I can't remember what it is. The point is the Testarossa, Sammy Hagar, the Red Rocker who couldn't drive 55, fucking bone stock Tesla soccer mom could drive, would blow that car away. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right, let me ask you another question. We got some news to do in a second, but I just want to ask you one more. Tell me what you would do.
Okay.
I was in a nice neighborhood. I was in La Cañada, and I had dinner with my son at a Chinese restaurant, a nice area. And it was about 10 at night, and we were done. My son walks everywhere. He walked from the house to the thing. I was at another place. I walked too. I said, I'll meet you there. When we're done. So how are we getting home? He said, well, I'm going to walk to the Y and meet some friends there. I said, well, I can walk with you about halfway then. I'll catch you Uber home. Okay, so we started walking. A nice neighborhood. It's about 10 at night on like a Thursday. Sort of weirdish couple comes walking toward us. One guy seemed a little crazy. Chick passes us. Dude's off in the distance. See the guy stop. He's walking a dog. The dog like stops and does a weird low four-legged low squat, like a weird move. I didn't know exactly what it was, but it was on a leash and it was sort of off in the distance. It was at night. And I was kind of like, that's kind of a weird dog move. And then the guy immediately just moves on and goes down the sidewalk, passes us. I get to the driveway. It's a full load of dog, like wet dog shit, just a full load. And it's in a driveway for the hospital.
Oh, jeez.
It's the hospital driveway. It's the Verdugo, USC, whatever. It's smack dab in the middle. It's a big sloppy load, and it's right in the middle of the hospital driveway. Yeah. And I'm like, you just fucking let your dog, whoever's coming up here is either stroking out in the back of an ambulance or the grieving daughter of the guy that had the stroke and you got to drive through your dog's shit in order to get to Papa's hospital bed. And you knew it. You saw what your dog was doing. He just laid a fucking big load right there. And that guy just kept on trucking. Yeah. Not a care in the world. In my America, I want this guy executed.
Of course.
I'm like, he's now capable of anything.
Yeah.
He's not a contributor. I'll spare the dog. The dog didn't know where it was. This is a middle of a sidewalk where people walk up and down and bike and everything, but it's the hospital. How much do you hate this guy?
I hate the guy, and I'll tell you what I would do because this is what I did do. I live in Venice, and a guy walks by, and he's got a pit bull. And the thing takes a shit on the sidewalk. Not even in the little, decomposed granite between the curb and the sidewalk. Right on the sidewalk, and keeps walking. And I say, hey, pick up that shit.
Right.
And the guy turns around and he's like a fucking OG Venice dude. And I read it wrong. I didn't see it right away because some of these guys aren't that big from behind. And then they flip around and you see the Chuck Taylors and the shorts that aren't shorts and they're not pants. They're kind of deciding somewhere in between.
Yeah, they call them shants, and Kevin Smith has them, but it's also a Mexican thing where they haven't committed to the slacks and they haven't committed to the jogging shorts.
Right.
It's always funny. I want to start a charity called Swim Trunks for Mexicans because they go to the fucking beach and they have jeans that are like cut off mid-shin. And I'm like, first off, going in the ocean, then sitting down in the sand and denim. Like it feels like the most uncomfortable thing you could do. But there's some relationship that group has, which is wildly different than Western Europeans.
Yeah.
Western Europeans are like Speedo, dolphin trunks, like a lot of sack and thigh and ass cheek and stuff. Mexicans, every Mexican I've ever seen at the beach seems surprised that they ended up at the beach. Like they're wearing like Dr.
You're never gonna guess where we're going.
They're wearing Dickies and like work shirts and stuff, and I'm like, you're going to the beach.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, this guy turned around.
So he turns around. He's a white guy, but a lot of the OG Mexican guys they dress Mexican. The old white guys dress Mexican. He's got the neck tattoo and the head is shaved, and so he starts he doesn't say a word. He just comes at me.
Wow.
And that's the scary guy. The guy that talks shit you can reason with on some level. And so I just turn around and I walk back and I got into my car and I said to the guy, I'm calling the police. I was fucking, because I was like, the shit's getting picked up one way or the other.
Dog would have gone El Kabong with a microphone right on that dude's head. That was young Fitz
I'll
Dog.
tell you, the old Fitz Dog is a puss. I call 911, which in Venice is like, it's just yell it into the sky. Just yell, can someone help me, please?
Yeah.
And so no one's coming. And now he's walking away, and I'm following him in my car, in my, at the time, Prius, which just angered him even more. And then he came over and he punched the side of my window, and then I just drove off.
Really?
Yeah, that was the whole interaction, and the shit stayed there. I probably would have picked it up knowing me at that point.
I am fascinated by those who are unprovoked and yet call to act. They can act on it.
Yeah.
Meaning what I'm saying is I have enough room in my head to sort of understand the difference between me pulling out and cutting you off and then you cutting me off. And if I cut you off and you honk, I don't get angry. I go, okay, yeah,
Sure.
sorry.
Right.
That didn't see you. Didn't see you. I'm sort of intrigued with those who do the wrong first and then are angered that you brought it up. Like, I got a dog. My dog could possibly shit on a sidewalk in front of a hospital. But if you brought it up to me, I would immediately go into makeup mode, retreat mode, because guess who just got caught with his dog shitting up the sidewalk? I would not get angry at you.
Well,
you know
this
what
is
I'm
the
saying?
woman in the car that the cop is telling to roll down her window. And she's yelling at him that he did something wrong by pulling her over for speeding or whatever it was that made him pull her over.
I was in Santa Monica. I've told it when it happened about 2 years ago, but I was in Santa Monica, and I don't think I told you. And I again, inspired by those who sort of are motivated for no possible reason. I was in Santa Monica in front of the 3rd Street Promenade or whatever. I'll try to describe it, but it was one of those scenes where I dropped someone off and they said, I got to run in here. I got to go to the store. This thing came in. I got to grab it. I'm going to come back out. So then I did the thing where I'm like, I don't want to park in the parking structure and pay $13 and whatever. I'll just kind of circle the block kind of slowly. And then when you come out, call, or I'll be coming out front. You just jump in.
Yeah.
And so I was like slowly circling the block. And then I get the call. I'm coming out of the store. I go, okay, I'm just coming out front. I'll just. Now, there's 2 driveways into the parking structure, and then there's like 2 driveways out of the parking structure. And one of the driveways out seems to be dormant, like they're not using it. And so I just I can't park on the street because there's a lot of traffic on the street. I sort of pull up and sort of park in the driveway that's not blocking anyone, and it's like dormant. And I'm just waiting for this person to come out and jump in the car. I put my hazards on, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not blocking the sidewalk. I'm not blocking the entrance to the parking structure or anything. And then there's a guy comes down the boulevard, and he's going to turn into the parking structure. And he stops on the street, and he like starts honking his horn, and he starts looking at me, and he's like, "Get out of there!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, he thinks I'm blocking the parking structure." And I go, "No, just I'm not go park." He wants to use the parking structure. Yeah. He goes, "Get out!" I go, "I'm waiting for someone. I'm not blocking anyone. You can get in." And I got my window down. I go, "Just go ahead and just pull in. I'm not blocking you." And he goes, I don't care. Move your car. And I go, just pull in and park. Just pull in and park. And of course, people are starting to line up behind him now. People are like, come on, man. We want to pull into the parking structure. And I go, just pull in. And I roll the window back up. He turns. He stops behind my car. Luckily, it was like a little too far away. It's like that thing where you're trying to pull the ticket, but you stop too far away and you're leaning out the fucking car. He's leaning out of his car, but he stopped like 30 inches from my car. So I'm at the end of his reach. And I'm hearing him claw at my rear windshield wiper, like trying to tear, like clawing, like clawing, like an alien movie where you've been reanimated into a killer zombie, like when they're trying to get in the room, you know, they're just God, they're like chewing on stuff. I'm looking at my rear view. It strikes me. People are turning in behind him now. He stopped and they're like honking and said he's literally like clawing his fingernails, trying to rip my rear windshield wiper off, or punch my windshield. I'm like, what happened? How does this? First off, I've never met you in my life. Yeah. Secondly, he was like a 40-year-old dude with a beard that seemed to be nicely groomed, you know? Yeah. And I was like, you're just going to Santa Monica. You left the house 18 minutes ago thinking you were going to the 3rd Street Promenade to get frozen yogurt. Yeah. When did this? Right. When did the Kraken get unleashed? Yeah. And for all you know, I got a fucking special needs child that's like in there talking to a counselor or a gun or anything. Yeah. What provoked? How did I get so much energy from you? Also, you didn't need to traffic cop any of this. Yeah. I wasn't holding anybody up. There was nobody waiting for me, including you. Yeah. And next thing you know, you're lodging your fingernails into my rear windshield wiper blade. It's something happened that day. There was something he did not express, and I think as one thing that I do in my life is I call out little things as they come so they don't build up. Mm-hmm. So I had my daughter got her. Can we agree that him and guy who left sloppy shit at the hospital, dog guy? I'm an atheist. I would, if somebody said you have a magic wand, you can put a bullet in both their heads, no one will trace it back to you. I'd go, get rid of them. I don't want those guys walking around. Yes. Go ahead. So my daughter got an emergency appendectomy. So we're at the hospital. This is about 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And so we get out at about 11 o'clock at night, and I've got to go pick up the painkillers for her. Mm-hmm. And there's only one pharmacy open in Santa Monica at night. So I go to that one on 26th Street, and I'm online. And now there's... You're in line. No, I'm online. Online? Yeah. Online. I'm on the line. Oh, you're online. Oh, you're on the line. I guess it's a New York thing. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, online. Yeah. Well, now there's online. Yeah, I guess we have to update it now. Yeah. So I'm online, and there's a guy at the window, and the pharmacist is waiting to find out what the guy wants, and he's on the phone, and he's yapping away on the phone, and he's... Oh, you're doing the drive-through. No, I'm standing there. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, online. I'm standing behind him, and so pharmacist can't get his attention. Right. And meanwhile, my daughter, this happened at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have been by my daughter's side now for 16 hours nonstop, including a surgery. And now I'm in line, and he won't stop talking. And I go, "Can you hang up your phone?" And he's a homosexual. So he hangs up his phone, and he spins around, and he fucking unleashes on me. Right. You piece of shit! How dare! Look where you are! This is a pharmacy at 10 o'clock at night, and whatever. And I go, wow. You're hysterical, which is just a way of saying you are gay. Yes. And so he goes... It also means you're a woman because hysterectomy, hysterical. Yeah. It's connected. Yeah. Yes, so he's going berserk. And then finally he's even trying to order his drugs, and he's saying to the pharmacist, "You believe some assholes? You believe some..." And the fists started. I don't even realize it. My fists are now clenched. I'm ready to go. And so...
And so I just started saying, say more, say more, say more. And he won't stop. And then everybody on the line starts going, hey man, shut the fuck up. And then there was like 5 people on the line and they were all telling him to shut up and leave. But I haven't been that close to punching somebody in a long time.
It's weird how adults turned out.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. When I was a kid, I would have never anticipated this.
Well, we're in a bubble now, you know?
I guess so.
We're not walking down the street. I mean, we're not, people are not conversing in public places because they're on their phones.
Yeah.
We've lost all sense of community and being a good guy. You know, I enjoy doing nice things for people. You know,
Yeah.
I don't see that anymore. Random acts of kindness.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There was, you know what? I blame car technology
Yep.
because people used to be pulled over all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could show up and go, what happened? I go, battery died. I go, I got cables in my trunk. You want to jump? I jump. There was a bonding over jumping batteries.
Right.
There was a lot of, I'll give you a ride to the Phillips 66. You can get more gas.
Or better, I had a siphon. I used to suck gas out of my tank to give my friend for his moped that died next to me.
Like a fucking World War II tank commander. Yeah.
Right.
I know. And there was like a whole kind of community that was basically, I've said it, we need to throw baby Jessica in a well. We need a well moment in our society. We need a well baby because everyone stops fighting and they stop talking about what they're talking about. And we all focus on baby Jessica and that well. We come together for one cause. You know what I'm saying? And cars were the cause. Think about how communal. First off, I can't tell you how many times I've jumped in on a car bump start.
Oh,
like you've seen the dude, there's 2 dudes pushing an Impala, and you're like, oh, okay, and you just jump in on it. Now we jump in on beatings. Like there are people being beaten, and the guy's like, oh, fuck, I'll start kicking the guy. I don't even know him. We used to do jump start. We do bump start jump-ins. We do jumper cable jump-ins. We do the overheat thing. You know, you need a ride. I'll give you a ride to the gas station. There's the out-of-gas ride. There's I got a gas can.
There was I was driving back from, I grew up right outside of New York and outside the city. And so I'm driving home one night, and I've got my Volkswagen Rabbit, and it's a freezing night out, and my car gets a flat tire in front of Yankee Stadium on the West Side Highway. So now I go back. I've got no fucking jack. You know, I'm like 17 years old.
Yeah.
And this is literally the worst neighborhood in New York City. And it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning. And so this car pulls up behind me, and this huge black dude gets out. And like, you know, that part of me that's socialized is afraid of this situation. And the guy comes up, and he goes, what's going on? I go, I don't have a jack, and I have a flat tire. And he doesn't say a word. And he turns around, and he goes back to his car, and he gets a jack, and he undoes my lug nuts, put the tire on in the back, and then he turns around and he just walks away and gets into his car. And I chase after him. I go, hey, man, who are you? I go, what? Thank you so much. And so he gave me I go, give me your business card. And he was a caterer. And I bought this dude a whole set of catering knives.
Wow.
I didn't have any fucking money, but I spent like $150 and I sent it to this dude.
Stabbed his girlfriend with those knives. But yeah, started off as a good story.
How could you?
I heard. I read the papers. I had I spent a lot of time walking, and I got my bike towed. I got my motorcycle towed. I was fucking hitchhiking down Laurel Canyon. The big dude, who turned out later to be in Stand and Deliver, the movie, he just picked me up.
Yeah.
And we smoked pot in my apartment. Like there was a communal thing based on shoddy transportation.
Yeah.
We all had to come together because of bad, shoddy transportation.
So just you and this grown man in your apartment smoking pot? Now, did he give the hand job or did you give the hand job?
I am a fucking, I don't know what they call a top or bottom in the hand job department, but I'd like to say I'm a top, which means I received the hand job.
So you sat and delivered.
Sat and delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a guy, told me he's an actor. We found the guy's name here 6 months later. Like, I saw him on a billboard. I was like, he was driving a Pinto when he picked me up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he was a struggling actor, and then he got this.
Oh, this is before.
Before
Okay.
I was just like, I know that guy. The character was the big scary Mexican guy in Stand and Deliver. We found his name before. That's how stupid I was. I was this guy in a Pinto, by the way, couldn't go quarter mile without blowing up.
Yeah.
Giant Mexican guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get in the car.
Yeah.
we just fucking picked me up.
Damn.
Yeah. I remember once on Laurel Canyon at the same time, my truck ran out of gas. And I was a carpenter at the time. And I remember walking to the gas station. And the guy goes, I go, hey, man, I ran out of gas. Could I borrow a gas can? And I didn't have credit cards or money or anything. I just got like $1 worth of gas, but I'll just bring the gas can back. And the guy's like, yeah, no, we don't lend out the gas can. And I go, well, I only got like $1 for $1 worth of gas. My car's out of thing, and I don't have any cash, but I'll just bring the gas can right back as soon as I get the stuff. Yeah, Will Gote is his name, yeah. And so the guy goes, yeah, we don't rent out the gas. We don't lend out the gas can. And he goes, I go, is it that big a issue, you know? And he's like, well, people walk off with it, you know? And I go, okay, well, I got a plan. I go back to the truck, and I get my Skill Hypoid framing saw, like street value, like $145 at the time, right? And I go, here is my $145 Skill saw. You lend me your $6 gas can, and if I don't come back, you got my $145 Skill saw. And he goes, we don't lend the can. And I go, why not? He goes, because people may not come back with it. I go, if I don't come back with the can, then that'll be the best day of your life, because you'll have this $150 saw, and you could buy 10 cans with it if you pawn it or what.
Yeah.
You should hope I don't come back with your can.
Yeah.
And he's like, we don't lend the can out. And that's when I realized, oh, this is the world. Now I'm living here.
Right.
This is where I'm living. This is who I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's going to be a long and shitty life. All right. We will take ourselves a break. Dawson's got the news, and we'll do that right after this. Chime. Oh, man, there are fees everywhere. Fees everywhere. And they hurt the most when you're down. That's why Chime offers fee-free banking. When we're trying to make a little progress, life throws you a curveball. You often feel like you're taking one step forward and 2 steps back. A Chime checking account makes financial progress easier with features like no maintenance fees, fee-free overdraft up to $200, or getting paid 2 days early with direct deposit. It is a great, great service. There's no monthly fees, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance requirements. It's Chime. Am I right, Dawson?
Work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/Adam. That's chime.com/Adam. Chime feels like progress. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-work network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
Shopify. Well, starting a business, it can be intimidating. Finding the right tool that not only helps you out, but simplifies everything can be such a game changer for millions of businesses. That tool is Shopify. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. You'll be able to get the word out like you have your own marketing team behind you. Easily create emails and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Right, Dawson?
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Carolla, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Carolla to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Carolla.
But whenever I fly, I always think about the pilot. I always kind of feel bad for pilots because they seem compromised. You know, like he gets his wings and now he's floating up above the clouds, heading into the wild blue yonder, followed his dream. And then he's got to stop down and be like, attention passengers, the flight attendant will be coming through the aisle now with the JetBlue Super Saver Mile High Visa. Fill it out today, and if you spend $20,000 in the next 4 days, we'll give you a free 1,000 miles. What the fuck happened in my life? That's it, I'm done. I'm putting this fucker down on the side of that hill.
Greg Fitzsimmons is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Fitz Dog in studio. Now Dawson's in studio. He's got the news.
That's right. We're continuing to see how much of a bullet we, in fact, did dodge. That thankfully Kamala Harris did not win the presidency.
Can I just give a quick shout out to Dawson, who opened for me in Brea recently and fucking crushed?
Really?
So impressed with his stand-up.
Nice.
Really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was a ton of fun.
You got it.
Kamala Harris was supposed to be on a podcast called Subway Takes. Now, the idea of this podcast is they ask their guest what their hottest take is. Mm-hmm. And so when he talks about, you'll hear him tell this story. Let's let him tell this story about how Kamala show was canceled.
Is this before the election?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
Emailed me.
They got an email from the
DNC.
Okay.
And they said, hey, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are really interested in being on your show. I said, that sounds cool.
Okay.
I'll at least get to tell my daughter that I met the potential president of the United States.
Yeah.
And so I said yes, based on the fact that it would be a good story. And also they both had good takes.
What happened with Kamala?
Her take was really confusing and weird and not good. And so mutually agreed that we shouldn't publish it.
I see.
And I got lucky because I didn't want to be blamed for her losing.
Her take was that bad?
It was really, really bad, and it was like didn't make any sense. I can tell you, it was bacon as a spice. Bacon as a spice.
Bacon as a spice.
So that was Kamala's take, that bacon is a spice. Now, I think that in some ways, Adam, this half encourages you because, you know, you always say that putting bacon on anything is cheating because it just masks the flavor.
It's an apology.
Everything.
It's an apology for whatever you're serving.
So could you agree that bacon is in some way a spice and also agree that that is the dumbest thing anybody could say who's running for president on a podcast?
It is almost becoming a spice now. I hate to agree with Kamala, but they're crushing it up and pouring it on everything.
Yeah.
And my feeling is like, first off, I never thought I would say either one of these two things, which is, these are two statements. If you'd got hold of me when I was 17, you'd never think you'd hear me say. One is, enough with the bacon. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've had enough bacon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's too, I just don't want to see any more bacon for a week. That's that. And the other is, we can stop making new porn. Those are the two statements that I now say that I would have never thought the words, I've had enough bacon and we don't need any more porn. I never thought I would utter those words. It's sacrilegious to me. But I now as an adult can say, there's too much bacon, and we got enough porn. My son will be fine with the 200 million hours of porn that currently resides in his phone.
I would put an asterisk on that. Are you familiar with
bacon porn?
Oh, yeah.
The making bacon
yeah,
one?
she oinks while you do
Yeah.
it and sizzles.
Yeah.
No, Czechoslovakian hidden camera massage porn.
I know that's your groove, but what I'm saying is,
Have you
seen it?
specific.
Even within very specific roads of porn or varieties of porn, I would still argue that there's still thousands of hours of Czechoslovakian hidden camera massage porn.
Hundreds, not thousands. We're not there yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I just feel like the women. It used to be Japanese hidden camera massage porn, and they literally scrubbed the internet of it. It used to be a huge genre.
Let me revise this. You're right. I painted with too broad a brush.
Okay.
Okay. I'm generally tired of bacon being spread on way too many things. If I order a deviled egg, I don't need bacon on the deviled egg. I want a deviled fucking egg. And I don't need it on potatoes, a baked potato. I don't need it everywhere. I don't need everything that tastes like bacon because I ordered a baked potato and I'd ordered deviled eggs, and deviled egg has its own flavor. It's not bacon. It's deviled eggs flavor, if that's what you're in the mood for. I like bacon. I'd like them to tone it down a little. And in terms of creating new porn, I wanted to cease except for one genre, and that's Czechoslovakian hidden camera massage porn.
Yeah.
That, we need to double and triple down our efforts. As a matter of fact, all porn directors that are currently working double back porn and and cuck porn and big jugs porn and black ass porn and all forms of gay porn, I need you to now rally
I want
behind
the big guys. I want Spielberg. I want Paul Thomas Anderson. They cross over. This is the time to pounce.
I look at it as wartime.
Yeah.
And you guys were GM and Ford, and you were making sedans. I need you to make tanks and Jeeps now for Fitzdog's cock. Essentially is what we're saying, right?
And the most insane part is that it's very, it is 100% real, and I defy anybody to tell me some of these. Oh, it's fake. Yeah, okay. Take a look at her face. It's her face as he begins to rub her buttocks and then get into the inside of the thigh. Something happens to her eyes. The eyelids flitter. The eyeballs go top right, and then there becomes a manual stimulation. At which point, you can see the rib cage start to move up and down slightly. The rest of the body is frozen, except for the rib. And there's the two fingers might start to thump up and down. She is pushing a lot down.
I'm going to carve out a second genre, which is porn audition tape. Where they come in, they're fully dressed, they sat
Casting
down. Casting couch. They read with a woman.
Yeah.
At some point, she explains that she's not really comfortable making love to a woman.
Yeah.
And then the woman leaves and gets the guy, and blowjob ensues.
Yes,
all right. I'm just going to revise that statement a little.
If I ever get into gay porn, I'm going to name myself Manual Stimulation.
Manual Stimulation. I'm going with Rocky Stucco. But I may have Colonel Duke Lacrosse. Because I like a uniform.
Right.
You know.
So back to this story. The host of the podcast, Kareem Rama, he's a Muslim. He does not eat bacon in the first place.
Oh, okay.
So it was a little bit like that.
research.
But then she kept doubling down and she said, think about it. It's pure flavor. And then he asked if he could use beef or turkey as a spice instead. Then they paused the interview and he told her he doesn't eat bacon. They asked if they could do a pre-planned segment, which her original take, Kamala's original take was that you should have to take your shoes off at the TSA.
Oh,
she was going to defend taking your shoes off.
That's how you get voters.
Yeah, Americans love taking their shoes off. I sometimes wish I was wearing two pair of shoes.
Yeah.
So I had a second pair I could take off.
Right.
I love it that much.
But that was the take that she was originally going to go in there with.
I was always like, man, I wish I was wearing my riding boots right now. or my lineman boots, some that the lace that just
Big
went all the
steel
way
toe or
up,
something.
all the way to the top.
And the best is then you take them off and they make you stand with your feet on the yellow footprints, which have now had thousands of people with foot fungus stand on those exact spots. I always try to go a little wide, and they go, no, you got to stand on them.
Yeah. And then you walk.
They're warm still.
I have literally taken pictures of the carpet as the filthiest stretch of carpet in humanity, because you go into the lobby of a hotel, the carpet gets cleaned, and it's not bad. You go into a restaurant that has carpet, the carpet gets cleaned, it's not bad. That is the carpet stretch time forgot.
Right.
Like, there's never any time to clean it. The airport's open 24/7. There's never a guy in there with a shampoo. There's always gum someone spit out.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn shit show, that stretch of carpet. And I see women walking barefoot frequently. Frequently.
Yeah.
And then I also then realize this weird sort of relationship we have with germs, because the same chick who just walked barefoot down Damnation Alley of carpet and stood on the filthy footprints is now going to the bathroom and like opening the door with her sleeve because she doesn't want to touch the handle. It's like, we're all
taking a Purell bath.
Anyway, something's wrong with Kamala. Something is wrong with her, and I think there is a problem. The problem is in Fitzdog, you see it with stand-ups all the time. They're at the end of the day, we're sort of human beings, and you kind of go, I like that guy. Most people you talk to, especially lay people, if you talk to them about like stand-ups, they'll go, I love that guy. That guy's really funny. And then you go, I don't know. I've seen his stuff. Like, there's really not that much good stuff there. Like, if you wrote it down and they go, he's good. He makes me laugh. I like that guy. I like that guy. And you go, he's not really funny. Like, it's not, his stuff doesn't, if you wrote it down, you wouldn't think it was funny. They go, I like him.
Yeah.
It's like you like Nate Bargatze. Why do you like him? He's comfortable. He's super comfortable in his own skin. He's good, but he's not so good that he's the highest grossing touring comic.
$80 million last year.
It's that he's super. Look, if you wrote down Fitzdog's material and you wrote down Nate Bargatze's material and you just sat and read it and you're like, one of these guys made $80 million last year. The other guy made $2,600, but he got free wings. The other guy's got one guy got a lot of free wings. You'd read it and you'd go, I think the guy who's got barbecue sauce on his jokes from eating the wings. The guy's got dipping sauce. I'm going with that guy. Like, you would. So what is it? Well, it's humans. It's us being human. You know what I mean? Like, you just go, and she doesn't know how to be a human. She's trying to do an impersonation of a human, just like when you see a stand-up doing their impersonation of a stand-up and no one likes it. You know what I mean? She's literally going, what would ingratiate humans or another human to another human? Like, I'll say that. I'll do that. What would they do? I'll work at McDonald's. McDonald's, that's the most human thing you can do. That's work at McDonald's. Very humble, very one of them, and
she tells a Muslim that bacon is a spice.
She gets tripped, but when you do it, you get tripped up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's she trips herself.
Although you got to say, she's like AI. When she first ran, and whatever it was, the first time we saw her run, was it 2016? She was so incredibly, like you said, she was doing an impression of a politician speaking. And she got way better. And I think that it's just like the AI kind of reads it more and figures it out more and impersonates it better.
Mm.
Yeah, no, the whole thing about the impersonation, whether it's the politician with all the answers or the loving husband who's really gay, you can pull it off for a bit. You're actually better than a regular husband because you're overcompensating for being gay.
Yeah.
So that thing, you can front load it and sort of pull it off. But eventually, you sort of become like a band and their sophomore album. You know, it's like you did all the good stuff. But you were on the road touring, nursing a head full of songs for 10 years, went platinum, and then the record company said, we need a follow-up album in 9 months. And you're like, I just used all of my stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think she used all her stuff, and now we're just into these impromptu conversations, and she couldn't work that one. All right.
Right. So the take she wanted to go with was, taking shoes off at airport in a ironic, serendipitous turn. Nearly 20 years after airline passengers were first required to remove their shoes for security, the policy is finally being phased out. TSA is planning on letting everyone keep their shoes on in most airports. Ace Man, you had a joke that except the airports that he's going to fly out of. Those are the ones.
They're sitting there in a room in Washington right now. Well, let's look at Ace Man's corridor here. All right, Burbank, all out.
And it's funny, I realize we all know that this policy came into effect because a guy named Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, tried to blow up a plane with a bomb in his shoe. It didn't work. But I'm reading here that the policy came 5 years after that.
Oh, really?
It took him 5 years to go, let's think about this. How do we stop people from blowing up planes with shoe bombs?
Yeah.
Well, how
5
about the
years.
guy? How about the cowboy with the boots with the big heel? We'll flag him.
Yeah.
And if I'm coming through in a pair of Chuck Taylors, there's no bomb in those.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, LL Airline has never had. Do you know that they've never had terrorist events on LL Airlines?
Yeah.
Because they profile. They go, what would logically be a terrorist?
Right.
Yeah, I would get more granular. It'd be like, look, work boots, lineman boots, cowboy boots. You got a lot of TNT in that heel.
Yeah.
Anyone wearing topsiders?
Right.
Go on by.
Right.
Deck shoes, let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just not enough sole there.
Yeah.
And if you're wearing those scary ninja shoes that guys used to wear, those weird gangbangers and ninjas would wear them.
Yeah.
Or are you sneaking?
Or the toe shoes.
The toe shoes, you're in.
You're in with the toe shoes. I feel bad for the foot fetishists because this was a field day for them. You would see guys loitering on the other side of the
Boners.
screener.
Yeah.
Looking for those, those Asian girls coming through. With the
And my
perfect
policy
toes.
with Crocs would be you got to take them off because they could hold a lot of high explosives in there, but we're not returning them. and we're doing
Just
you a
have a
favor.
bin. We just have a giant bin.
We throw them in there like we do your water bottles. And then when people complain, we just keep repeating, you're welcome.
I love how that this policy was introduced when it didn't work.
Yeah.
The guy couldn't. It's very difficult to blow up a plane with your shoe. I'd say nearly impossible.
Yeah.
But then for 20 years, we're all taking off our shoes.
I think they're changing the liquid policy too. It's
Really?
3 ounces right now. I think they're raising it.
You know the problem? The part that doesn't really make sense is I got a half bottle of Desante water, right? And I go, what, can't bring it on, It's also, ironically, everything in the airport's like $11 more than it is at a 7-Eleven. But they go, can't bring it. You can finish, can't bring it on. I go, well, why? Well, it could be, nitroglycerin or something or kerosene or something. I go, okay, so we're all just going to throw it in this universal tin can that's right in the middle of 7,000 people all day, every day. Let's just say it was a bomb. Let's just say it was an incendiary device. I'll just set it behind the X-ray machine where there's 40 of you officers all standing around and then 2,000 public just passing by every 40 minutes. You think that'd be a good idea?
Right.
Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
All right, Dawson.
Yes.
I know we didn't get to a lot of news, but it was a spirited conversation.
Good times.
Good times. Fitzdog will bid you adieu. We got Chris Collins and Celina Myers coming in. They got a movie. And we got interesting
Isn't
conversation.
Celina Myers the name of the woman on Veep? That's the character's name
Selena
on
Meyer.
Veep. Oh,
But
Meyer.
yes,
Oh,
it
okay.
is. Yeah.
Isn't Chris Collins the name of a former NFL player who's also a reporter?
That's
Collins
Worth. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's different people.
Different people.
Same name, game.
Hey, let me ask you guys a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm really obsessing over super simple names where there's only one famous one of them. Like, okay, what is a more ubiquitous American name than Alex Jones?
Sure.
I have a friend named Alex Jones. Very good friend. Yeah.
It's totally ubiquitous. Alex is ubiquitous, and Jones is it's every fake last Smith or Jones. You know, it's ubiquitous. If I go, I heard Alex Jones talking. You don't go, Alex Jones, the NFL great, or Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist, or Alex Jones, the astronaut.
Yeah.
Or Alex Jones, the senator from Kentucky. You go, there's one.
Yeah.
Why is there only one? Is your friend famous?
No.
There's only one famous guy named Alex Jones, but there's got to be millions. And I've really been thinking about it a lot lately. And I'm like,
that's interesting.
It must be that hard to be famous.
Yeah.
Because it's not that there's not a lot of Alex Joneses.
Right.
There must be hundreds of thousands of Alex Joneses. And certainly in the last 30 years, there had to be 2 million Alex Joneses. But I say Alex Jones, you go, all right, one. And they go, okay, who's the second most famous Alex Jones? And you go, there's nobody.
There are probably 200 Alex Jones podcast hosts named Alex Jones.
Someone will write me a tweet and go, there's a district selectman out of San Diego whose name, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know who that person is.
Right.
And here's anybody in this room.
My brain is in full... I'm in overdrive right now trying to think of 2 famous names. Well, I mean, part of with actors, it might be you may change your name.
You'd be Michael J. Fox or something.
Well,
Jeff Ross used to be Jeff Lifshitz. Lifschultz.
Okay.
Sounds insulting when you say it.
It was Lifschultz.
Right.
And he changed it to Jeff Ross, but then there was a producer on Conan O'Brien named Jeff Ross. So he changed. So Jeff changed his name to Jeffrey Ross.
Oh, is that why I thought he's just going fucking highfalutin on me. That's why I went from Jeff.
He's got a show opening on Broadway. Shout out! Take a banana for the ride in August.
Yeah.
It's funny. There's Alex Jones never gets an answer, but anytime I say I'm going to go see Alan Parsons this weekend, people go, Alan Parsons? Alan Parsons? What other one is there?
Yeah.
I'm now realizing that it's harder to be famous than I thought. And, there's only one. There are plenty of girls named Haktua Girl, but there's only one.
There's Mick Jones.
That's right.
Who was the guitarist for The Clash, and he was the lead singer for Foreigner.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a break. Come right back after this. Select quote, time for some life talk. Yeah, life insurance talk. Buying life insurance is like hiring a bodyguard for your bank account after you're gone. But all jokes aside, do you even know what you're paying for? Or how much is actually covered? How much you're covered for? Do you even know that? Select quote makes it simple. I'm heading there myself to sort out my policy. These days, with the economy flipping out, AI, tariffs, market spikes, you got to take matters into your own hands. One sure way to protect your future, life insurance. And you're probably underinsured, overpaying, or both, especially if your policy's through work. Select Quote's been around for over 40 years, helped 2 million Americans, and secured over $700 billion in coverage. Their licensed agents work for you, not the insurance companies. 15 minutes, they'll compare top-rated carriers and find the best plan for you, your health, and your budget, and it's free. Am I right, Dawson?
Select Quote. They shop, you save. Get the right life insurance quote for you for less at selectquote.com/Carolla. Go to selectquote.com/Carolla today to get started. That's selectquote.com/Carolla.
Homes.com. Some say Homes.com is the best home shopping site. Maybe it's Homes.com's super comprehensive and transparent agent directory, or maybe it's that Homes.com is the only site that always directly connects you with the listing agent who knows the home the best. Perhaps it's because Homes.com has the most in-depth neighborhood content of any home shopping site that's extensively researched to highlight the personality of each neighborhood. Homes.com, well, they go above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth info they need to find the right home. And that could be you. It's definitely me. I love going to Homes.com. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Pinellas County, Florida. A 56-year-old man was found intoxicated in a parking lot, holding a bottle of wine and a can of beer. The man was wearing a t-shirt, but had his genitals exposed. When booked, the man provided the false name of famed author Charles Dickens. Definitely not a Jew.
Thanks to good people from Alcoa for sponsoring that for so many years. Celina Myers is here. Chris Collins is here. They have a film that'll be in theaters July 25th. House of Eden. It's got a little Blair Witch to it, I think.
Yep.
Was that some of the inspiration for it?
Definitely some inspiration from Blair Witch, yep. Found footage.
Is there, how into ghosts are we?
Pretty into ghosts.
Pretty into ghosts?
Pretty into them. Yeah, we do like paranormal investigation stuff on our off time.
I don't know. My problem with ghosts is every time I see a show about it, it seems like it's kind of falls into somewhere around UFO, kind of Sasquatch area, Loch Ness. Like I want high def footage.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to get.
Also, I don't know why historically we've been so scared of ghosts. It doesn't appear to be something to fear.
No, not in our experience at least.
No, we've had a couple scary moments, but at the same time, like we've had some where it's just like kind of beautiful moments too.
Yeah.
Well, ostensibly, ghosts are just people that used to be alive that you maybe your nana, who you miss.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put it to you this way. Pet ghosts wouldn't work because if there's pet ghosts, I'd be like, oh, great, Molly, my blonde lab who died 11 years ago is back.
Exactly.
I'd be happy about that.
Exactly. Well, there's pet ghosts.
There are pet ghosts. My old house is a black cat. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Your old house is a black cat?
Everybody saw everybody that came to my house saw a black cat. I've never seen the cat, but my dad saw. He's like, who's a black cat?
Inside the house?
In the house. But I never saw it.
It's just an elusive black cat that frogs.
You've never seen it, but do you guys feel like you're more sensitive or tuned up to spotting ghosts or feeling ghosts?
You are too. We're definitely empaths for sure. Like we see and feel things, but it's been with me since I was a kid. Like when people are like, "Oh, I don't believe," I'm like, "Oh, you just haven't seen it yet."
But what's up with the cat then? How come everyone else spotted it?
I don't know,
but you?
and that was interesting because it was even non-believers. Like, I saw your cat. I'm like, I don't have a cat. So that's what that was one of those like validating moments where I'm like, oh, okay, ghost pets are real.
Who knows?
Okay, here's another problem, perhaps, maybe. I used to do sketch comedy at the Acme Theater a million years ago, and there was a girl there named Katie, and she was from New Orleans. And somehow the subject of ghosts came up, and she went, oh, yeah, from childhood and beyond. Like, everyone I knew saw a ghost. And I'm like, I'm from North Hollywood. Yeah. There's no one ever saw a ghost.
Yeah. So
then it becomes sort of like when Bill Maher goes, this whole thing about gender reassignment surgery and people having, gender confusion and stuff. Why is it only in L.A. and New York? How come it doesn't happen in Indiana? And I go, oh, yeah, kind of right. Yeah, if it's a phenomenon, it should just... We're the ghosts from North Hollywood.
Yeah, there's ghosts in North Hollywood.
There are?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess Gosh,
how come if you're from New Orleans, it's a thing?
It's a culture there.
And here,
exactly.
It's like jambalaya.
It's like
never touched a shit.
Yeah.
I'm from North Hollywood. Not part
absolutely. I don't know. Just environment.
Because the same amount of people die.
Yeah.
Right?
No, absolutely. I think it's just a lot to do with stories.
How
honestly.
do you get a ghost? I mean, you got people dying. My mom and my dad passed in the last, I don't know, three years or so. I think they're too lazy to be ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's a calorie burner. Like, they're happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to finally
get
some rest here.
No unfinished business.
But no, never started any.
Yeah.
So how would it be unfinished? We never began a business. But what makes a ghost? Is it the unfinished business part?
Seems like.
There's a lot of different things. There's unfinished business. There's, some people say tragic deaths cause more so ghosts. They don't know that they died. There's so many different little pieces that what can create a ghost. I think, a lot of the time some are real, but like Kris said, a lot of the time I think it's just the lore and the stories that people get excited about.
Yeah.
Too.
Where is the Queen Mary a ghost place?
Yeah, I've not been there, but it's like the infamous one that everybody goes and ghost hunts at.
Is there a place in like Europe? Are there ghosts in the Middle East? Is it too hot?
I don't know. Maybe.
I never hear about Middle
Go down
Eastern
the Google rabbit hole.
Right? Maybe we should go.
Yeah.
Who is a culture that embraces the ghosts the most?
White people.
White people love ghosts.
Yeah.
White women, I'd say.
White
right?
women lots.
It's like animals and ghosts.
Seems like though. Seems like I feel like European and I don't know, American culture. Seems
Are the ghost people the same as the psychic people? Are they in the same family or phylum or something?
These are questions for her.
Ooh, explain a little bit more. What do you mean?
Well, I would say if you went to a party and someone said, there's a psychic reader's going to read, there'd be a line of women and less guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the people in the line would tend to probably believe in ghosts more than the guys who are just at the bar,
100%.
not waiting in that line, right?
No, absolutely. I feel like even women are just a little bit more intuitive sometimes than men can be. Not necessarily all the time, but yeah, I feel like you're going to like draws like.
I think women notice ghosts more than men because women like will walk in a room and go,
the energy.
Do you smoke a cigarette anytime?
Exactly. We're always, we always
I was in
know.
the backyard and I took a shower and I brushed my teeth.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We see the red hair on her sweater.
Yeah. Yeah, the lipstick.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, women are they're like beagles,
Absolutely.
They're like very, what's going on here?
Absolutely.
And so they walk into every room like it's a fucking crime scene. Like
Absolutely.
They walk into the living room like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I'm watching TV.
Yeah.
Okay, something's going on.
Something's
It's
off.
just with being a woman. You got to be like a deer. You're just looking around all the time. Like, what's going on?
I think it's because of kids, and you got to notice everything. Otherwise,
they die.
They die.
Yeah,
right.
tend to
and
die.
guys, we don't. I mean, we got to go out and get some food, and kill something, but we don't have to notice once we get back. Right.
Yeah.
So I think women notice ghosts more.
Maybe. I think so. I think so. But men do a better job of making TV shows out of it, it seems. The entertainment value, it seems.
Yeah. Even movies like Ghostbusters turns out better when men are in charge.
Dude. Yeah.
Was the lady ghost? I didn't want to pile on, and I didn't end up even watching the lady Ghostbusters.
I didn't see it.
What?
The
That's
original
like your
I
job.
did.
But you should watch all ghost movies.
I'm just not a big remake person.
Oh, you're not.
I don't like how Hollywood's just remaking everything. I'm over
yet
it.
you like Ghosts, which is the original remake, if you think about it. You were here.
Technically, yeah.
Now you have the sequel.
Yeah.
Which is you.
It's the unknown. It's interesting to me.
Is there, are there more men or female ghosts?
Seems pretty 50-50.
Yeah.
Seems pretty 50-50 in our experience. Seems like we got a bunch of like cool tech and stuff too. If you just sit in a room and you just ask for a ghost to come, it's not going to come. So people make like interesting tech that you could potentially be talking to something, or it could just potentially be the tech that's just doing
What
its thing.
is the science behind the tech?
Depends on the piece, but there's certain things, that it goes with the electricity in the air. If there's a shift, it'll read that electricity shift in the air. But some of them, you can read up on it and you're curious. But then there's things that are clear, like a cat ball. So you have to hit the cat ball to make it go off. Something around it has to move
More
it.
physical stuff.
Yeah. So physical stuff is definitely our favorite for sure.
Have you seen physical stuff move?
Oh, we've seen things. We have video of. We have a lot of.
What's the
things.
best video you guys have, you think?
Maybe the ball getting kicked down the stairs.
Ball getting kicked down the stairs was really cool.
That was really
at a hotel.
Really fucking
There was your
weird.
shirt at the school. Like there's literally a clip and she's just there and her shirt just like gets pulled, which was really interesting.
Gets tugged. And then there's a time where there was a girl that talked in front of us, but there was nobody there. It was really weird. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that happens, and most of the time we're like, we can debunk it easily. I'd say 99% of stuff. And there's some stuff where it's like, I don't really know how to explain that. So we just, just kind of go with the flow while we're doing it. And it's also just fun to be scared.
Yeah.
In really creepy places. Like we'll go to an asylum or like a prison or something and just like that's half the fun.
I feel like people want to be roller coaster scared.
Totally.
Like, on one hand, you're scared. On the other hand, there's a steel lap bar that's holding you in. And so you're aware of where you are.
Yeah.
And so that's an interesting concept. Like, who is attracted to scary movies?
Yeah.
And then why is that woven? Why is that part of our DNA?
It's controlled scared. It's like you said.
Controlled.
I think
And there's funny ghosts. Like we went to was it Trans-Allegheny? We went to an insane asylum, and there were ghosts who liked boobs. So then here I am in a closet with my boobs out to see if I can get a reaction from the ghost. And while she, at the same time, she's down an alleyway where like apparently this horrific ghost is, and she's going through this one experience that's terrifying, and then I'm over
That's
here
flashing back to
laughing,
her,
and
showing
I'm
her
like,
tits to the
"Do you
ghost."
like my boobs? Like, it was,
Did you have your boobs out?
oh yeah.
Any
Not
video
on
of that?
camera.
I
We're
can't
PG.
see. I can't see the ghost reaction, so I don't have to hear their criticism about my boobs. So they can see them all they want.
We have
Yeah, you don't want to get critiqued by a ghost.
fun. No, they got nothing to lose.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
Already
Nothing.
dead.
Exactly.
So, who are like the biggest ghost celebrities out there? Because every once in a while, there was actually I think there was a show that was like Celebrity Ghost Encounters or something like that.
My ghost stories.
Was that it?
Yeah. And they took a lot of famous people who would then tell their ghost stories, and there were some really interesting ones, and a lot of, people that had experiences that were like,
Who was one of the celebrities?
I
can't remember.
I can tell you.
I know
You can.
Kesha.
Well, because Greg Fitzsimmons was just talking about Jeff Ross, the comedian, and I believe Jeff Ross told a ghost story in that Celebrity Ghost Stories thing. And he's a friend of mine, so that's why I kind of remember him. Ran for 6 seasons. I never saw it, but I do remember Jeff telling his ghost stories.
Yeah.
But now, what about people who have zero ghost stories like me? Is it just because I'm from North Hollywood, or am I just tuned out, or like what's going on?
I think most people are skeptical. Like my husband he's a complete skeptic, doesn't believe in it at all, never seen a ghost. He tries to like taunt them and everything, and it's just like
That was funny. My husband was like that. My husband was, but he's not like that anymore.
Oh, he's turned the corner.
Very much. He was very like, even when we got together, we moved in, he's like, don't bring in your spookies. I don't believe, I'm not into it, but we've been together for 17 years and he's been around for parts of it. And he's just like, probably as much of a believer as I am at this point, which is interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that good? You don't want to go
Sometimes.
too much past you.
I don't like when he gets freaked out because
That's
then we're
what I'm
both
saying.
need a
And then
grounder.
at some point, he quits his job and he customizes the van, and now it's all on. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell them to stop just where you are.
Yeah.
Don't get too much past
Yeah,
you
you
in the
need a
belief
leveler.
department.
Exactly.
Yeah, someone's got to buy some groceries around here.
Yeah.
Right.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, you know the jingle. That's right. They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. That's why they're there. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and the parts knowledge you need for all your maintenance and repairs. I love these guys. I use these guys. I was just up at the one on Foothill. I told you about that in La Cañada. That's the one I went to recently. I called them. They picked up the phone. I asked them if they had a device. They said, yes, we do. I said, well, then I'll come down and get it. I didn't even get a machine or outsource to India. So Whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, they are friendly. So stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us. Do it online. Visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
So what do the husbands do?
Mine is a content creator as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the YouTube space, also a video game developer. We also own a candy company. We do a lot of things.
Tell me about your candy.
We make traditional licorice. Like, we have our own factory we made, and we make it in like kettles, and we do it in Texas where we live, and it's like sour licorice belts. And then we also have like little gummies as well. And then we have a lot of other products.
Is most licorice bullshit? Like big time licorice?
Yeah, Twizzlers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's
Yeah,
like
I
it's
know.
red
Right.
40 and crap, but we only have like
Natural.
5-6 ingredients, and it's all natural. And it actually tastes like candy because we do use sugar.
It's really
but
good.
it's not like that fake sugar shit where you need to eat the whole bag and then you feel like shit after.
I never really got, even as a young lad, the weird novelty candy stuff
Yeah.
where it's like, well, this is an edible belt. And
Yeah.
you use it as a belt, and then you bite off, and then you can put it back on, and it's rainbow color. And I'm like, just give me some fucking chocolate and some nuts and some nougat and some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's something real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're
Yep.
like, I like the Twizzlers. Just tastes like a synthesized, processed,
it's bad.
dyed number whatever. That's
red 40.
Essentially, it's just gnawing on poison
It
while you're
is.
watching a movie.
It is. Yeah.
What is enjoyable? I don't get it.
It's not. It's not. And that's why we did it. That's why we like own 100% of the company ourselves, me and my husband, and it's called Sour Boys on sour.gg. But it's it's doing really well, and it's cool. We do all like the marketing for it ourselves, and
When did licorice stop tasting like licorice?
Did it ever
like
taste
the
like licorice?
like the 1920s.
Because licorice, it's like sarsaparilla. It's a flavor.
Black licorice. Yeah, the black licorice. We don't do the black licorice, but we do like naturally flavored, like your raspberry or like strawberry or that kind of stuff. Yeah, but we might go into like the normal kind. There's just not a huge market. There's like 80-year-old women mostly that like the black licorice, so we don't.
Yeah, they come out with 4 flavors like every month, and they're the bags like they do such cool like
But
graphics.
I
and
got a
stuff.
suggestion.
Yeah, please.
See, we're very cyclical as a society. So it's like nobody used to drink gin.
Yeah.
And nobody drank rye whiskey. They just drink vodka, everything. Vodka. Now, gin and rye whiskey, and people are making old fashions, and martinis and stuff like that. So we do this cyclical thing. And so if you go, well, only old people eat old school licorice. The kids will get on to whatever was old and is now new to them.
100%. That's why we're bringing
Everything
back the
Right.
old way to make it. So they're already liking that. So we're leaning now into, we can make any flavor. Like we've done apple pie flavored licorice with natural flavors. Like it's really weird and cool, and people like it. So
How does one do this? Where you just go, we're going to get kettles. We need a warehouse.
my husband is the most driven person in the world. He literally put all of the money he's made from content creation. He does like commentaries, comedian as well. He's very funny. And he put it all into making a literal factory and all this equipment. All while getting scammed out of like $1 million, which was a whole thing. But then he made that factory, and then it's all direct to consumer, and it's been doing incredibly well now. We've since made that money back, which is nice. But yeah, he's just extremely driven, and he just wanted to make candy. And now he does that with video games. So it's really cool.
What with video games, sorry?
He did the same thing. He's made his own video game studio and stuff.
It is, they always say, look, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person.
Yeah, that's that guy.
And then there's fucking lazy people. And the lazy people just go, how am I supposed to get ahead in this man's whatever? And I'm like, I don't just go on,
Just do it.
Get going.
Yeah.
Just get going.
That's what we did with the movie. We're just like, we'll just make a movie by ourselves because why not?
How many days was the shoot?
We made the stupid challenge to do it in 7 days.
Yep.
Oh, that's tough.
7 days. So we woke up in the morning, shot, went all the way till like 2, 3 a.m., woke up the next morning, edited what we had just shot the day before, and then rinse and repeat. So it was, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, it gets discussed a lot on this show, which is time.
Yeah.
That's your enemy when it comes to making movies.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to someone, I've shot a couple of movies, maybe one in 20 days and maybe one in 17 days or something. But when you talk to people, they go, oh, I shot this movie in 11 days. You go, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking
no
work.
Room to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like, I guess it would be like climbing Mount Everest. There's a version of it where you have a Sherpa and they carry all your shit. They cook you dinner. And it takes, 2 months and fine. And then there's a version where you go, I did it in 4 days.
Yeah, we walked up naked.
Barefoot.
Yeah, just
right.
No oxygen.
That's a different, is a totally different challenge.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so you guys just went, I mean, ultimately, it's how everything works, whether it's licorice or movies. You just go, we're just going to make our own movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Came up with the idea, wrote, kind of a beat sheet and some script, but mostly it was a lot of improv, which was really fun because we do that anyway. So that made it manageable. And then, we just mapped out our days and we're like, hopefully this works.
We're going to slam it.
Not a lot of reshoot time, so...
Yeah, we had a really small team, which was awesome because we all knew each other so well even before, and we worked together and we just banged it out. And I feel like not having too many cooks in the kitchen almost made it easier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
And you don't want too many cooks making the licorice.
No,
you want one driven video game designer.
That's right.
With a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and it and also it's weird how fast time passes. When you're taking care of shit. Like you go from like, someone ought to make some good licorice to opening the doors of a warehouse with tons of kettles making licorice. And you're like, how the fuck we get here?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just happens like that. And it was like 2021 when he had the idea. And then 2023 we launched. And now, fast forward 2 years and it's getting really big, which is crazy.
But here's the downside of passage of time is like when someone goes, I'm going to write a book, and you go, didn't you tell me that 12 years ago? And they go, oh, yeah.
She's written a lot of books.
Right by.
I wrote a book in 4 days once.
Yeah.
You make a movie in a week, you write a book in 4 days.
Yeah, it's my bestseller too, which is crazy.
It's a really good book.
How many pages is this book?
It's a novella. It's about 70,000 words, so it's nothing huge, but it was best.
Yeah, nothing huge.
Wait, 70,000 words is a decent word count.
It's decent. Yeah, it's about that thick. It's not huge.
It's 70,000. I've written a few books, and I never knew anything about this. But when I started, the publisher was like, between like 75 and 90,000 words. And I'm like, I need page numbers. I don't need
publishers
the
like
number
80,000
know
words.
that many words, man.
Yeah, but 70,000 words is 240 pages?
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah, that's a book, dude.
That's a book.
It's like,
in 4 days?
Yeah.
Yeah. My last one took a year.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not really listening.
Me neither.
What's it on? Ghost?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I figured it was on
you
Ghost.
Expect? It's The Haunting of Clandestine House, which was hilarious. But no, her and I were the same. We get an idea. We don't dilly-dally. We're just like, we're going to do the thing. Do the thing.
Why not?
Don't sit around.
Life's short because you could end up being a ghost any day.
I don't know. I feel like as a ghost, I already feel like a time traveler who's come back to be annoyed. I just feel like I'm just here being pissed off.
Everything's
like,
a nuisance.
Like turn right. You can turn.
Yeah.
You can turn right on a red. Go. Like that's already. I don't want to come back for round 2 of being annoyed.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. You've probably lived a lot of lives.
Yeah.
Maybe. And what's your philosophy on that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I don't have a philosophy. I'm pretty atheist, and I'm just kind of like you live, you die. It's a little, philosophical, which is I kind of realized as I was when you get older, people in your world will die.
Yeah.
And I did the math for all you people, but my mom died, my dad died. It's just like people, you go, oh, that guy died.
Yeah.
That guy I was friends with was died, you know? And there's guys like Norm Macdonald that I was friends with when he was dead, you know?
He's best.
Right. But I started to kind of realize, as I was like kind of thinking about just people, my old manager died, you know, people like that. I have them very clearly in my head. Like we all have Norm Macdonald in our head. I know who Norm Macdonald is. I can hear him.
Yep.
But he's alive on the internet.
Yeah.
You want to hear what he has to say. And I was like, oh, so you never really die as long as you're kept alive by the memory of people that you had an impact on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It could be negative.
Yep.
You could have fucking molested your granddaughter or something.
Yep.
You'll be alive. You'll be alive in her head long after you're gone in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know? So then I kind of realized that it's kind of the impression you can have an afterlife by making impressions in people's heads, and then you can decide whether they're going to be good impressions or bad impressions, because they don't have to be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there it is. I mean, historically, Timothy McVeigh blew up the Oklahoma City Federal Building. I know who that guy is.
Yep.
I don't want to know, but I do.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of that. And then there's loving, kind gestures and people that made you laugh and people you really go, man, I miss that guy. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
But you picture them in your head very clearly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And for that reason, I don't need to come back and haunt.
That's fair.
I'm just like, look,
It's very
I'll
fair.
make an impression.
Yeah.
Probably negative. Just keep it in your head.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to die. And if you want to think of me, just close your
So
eyes.
there's no one you want to haunt though. There's no one where you're like, yeah, I want to come back, I want to mess
I'd
with them.
fuck with Kevin Smith. He jacked me out of $500,000 on a TV pilot
Oh,
once.
okay, there you go.
Other than that,
Stick around for a couple days.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. Yeah, who would I haunt?
We think about this a lot.
Yeah,
Who
we
would
do
you
think
haunt?
about this a lot. Oh, I have a list.
You got a list?
What's your list?
It's irrelevant. Well, you don't know them. You don't know them, but they're around.
People who have wronged her.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah, there's a few.
Just like that. Just pieces of shit.
Yeah, you know, high school is weird. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of a jock and I was fine and I didn't get fucked with. But I give everyone in high school a pass because it's like everyone's young and
Oh,
stupid.
yeah, you don't know
and they
anything.
kind of just, they're just like dumb and they mellow out when you meet them
Yeah,
later
totally.
and they're different people. And
Yeah.
then I think about dumb shit I did and it's like,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. And also like fucking young girls are evil when they're 16.
Evil,
like
dude.
they're fucking evil.
Yeah, the one I would haunt lit me on fire and trapped me in a bathroom stall.
See?
Wow.
I'm gonna haunt
So
her.
she's got to light her
How
on
did
fire.
that
She's
happen?
the only one. I don't know. Chosen. I don't even think
Like,
she
did she light a match or?
Oh, so what they did was they were lighting toilet paper and dropped it over the side of the stall. But no,
I can see myself doing that.
you want to know the crazy thing though? She came back 2 years ago. Was like, "Will you come to my 13-year-old's birthday party?" No.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how about no?
No.
Yeah. All the people have done you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many.
Yeah, but it's weird. They always kind of pretend like they never,
Yeah, it's
like
like,
it never happened.
Come on.
Yeah.
I shoved you. It's like, yeah, off a cliff. Piece of shit.
Yeah, burning toilet paper in
Yeah.
my hair.
Yeah. But it's, forgive and forget. It's
Yeah.
philosophy. You want to be remembered as kind,
Yes.
So,
Yeah, all
Like
right.
you
So
said.
we'll haunt that bitch.
yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
I would just want to die and
I'm
go
gonna
find
go
my dog.
before you. I'll haunt her.
Do you want to come haunt me?
No, I'll haunt her.
Oh, sick.
Oh, her?
Perfect.
Thank
But
you.
I kind of need like an address
I'll give it
or
to you.
Yeah. Keep a
ways
lighter
or
in your pocket.
something.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
On the way
I'll
out.
be gone. I'm quite a few years older than you, so probably be gone before you, and then I can get a head start on the haunting.
Perfect.
Thank you. And then
See?
I'll catch up.
Because
It's teamwork.
she's your age, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And she could be into supplements and fitness.
She's not.
Oh.
She might go first.
I'm just saying, if she goes before you,
Yeah.
then you're not going to be able to haunt her.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
But if she's, how old is she?
She would be early 30s.
Okay, I'll go before her.
Okay.
And off the air, give me your address.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Or just
get
a
on
shot
Google
of
Maps.
Great.
I need a shot of her roof.
Yeah, you could
I don't
probably
know how
just
this
fly.
works.
Yeah, we'll give you a lock of her hair.
I don't
or
want
something.
Yeah, I don't think Waze is going to work. I think I'm going in through the chimney, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a Santa Claus thing. Maybe. Or more like a Kool-Aid man.
Just give me the style of shingle on her roof.
Okay,
is it
yeah.
an asphalt 3-tab presidential?
Yeah.
Is it a shake roof? Anyway, we'll
Santa
look at
Claus
that.
right in there.
I like that.
I'll hit her up.
It's good.
I'll give her the burning toilet paper thing.
Just in the sleep, she'll make
Burner
I know who
house
this
down.
is.
I'll wait till she goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then I'll go into the shower stall.
Okay.
Perfect.
And I'll light the toilet paper and I'll hang my hand over the shower stall and drop it down onto her on the toilet. She'll totally freak.
She'll freak out.
Perfect.
It'll be good.
Flashback.
Yeah.
It's going to take her a minute to put it together.
It'd be like a
Why
week
does this ring
later.
a bell?
Yeah, it's good. Did she do anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Just let you on fire.
That's
let me-
enough.
Just let
That's
me on
enough.
fire.
Yeah.
Backcountry Canada, that's how they do it back there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have guns up there, so we just light each other on fire.
Oh, you're both Canadians, right?
I'm from Canada, but I moved to Texas. I'm in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, let's give a plug.
Yeah.
Let's give a plug to the movie. The House on Eden. It'll be in theaters. Theaters, and there are other platforms we can find it?
It'll be in theaters July 25th, and then it'll be on Shudder, I think, around in the fall.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Ambitious, you two. Come back anytime.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Bring
This is awesome.
some licorice.
I'll bring some
Stand and
licorice.
swing by.
I'll throw you in a video game. We'll put you in a movie. We'll do whatever you want.
Kick the old school licorice around with that hubby
we will.
of yours.
It's,
Give my gin analogy.
okay.
It's coming back.
Okay, sounds good. We're ready. Sounds good.
Kris, Celina, thank you guys for coming out tonight.
Absolutely.
I want to thank today, I should say, Fitzdog for coming in. I'm going to be in Irvine tonight doing a live show with Jay Moore. And then coming up, Covina Laugh Factory, doing a couple shows Friday, a couple shows Saturday. So, until next time, it's Adam for Kris and Celina, Fitzdog and Dawson saying, Mahala.
Pick up your phone and leave us a voicemail at 888-634-1744. Get tickets to see the Ace Man tonight in Irvine at adamcarolla.com.